What's going on, everybody? Peace. L out of Brooklyn, New York City. Damn, Dwight. Come on, Dwight. So, if you haven't heard, ex NBA player, some would say future Hall of Famer, Dwight Howard, is being sued by a gentleman in Atlanta, Georgia, for sexual assault. So, as the story goes, Dwight Howard apparently was exchanging photos and text messages with a gentleman and the hopes of hooking up with this gentleman. And apparently, the gentleman did hook up with Dwight, and he went over and he met him. What happened is, during the course of their interaction, Dwight invited a transgender person into the bedroom against this gentleman's wishes. And Dwight apparently pushed the gentleman down onto the bed. And, it's one of these stories that I read it yesterday. And I'm not going to sit up here off the top of my head and break it down, because that does Dwight a disservice. I'm not going to freestyle it. All I'm going to say is this. I'm going to talk about Dwight. I honestly have been on Twitter over the past few months adding the Brooklyn Nets, adding the New York Knicks, Boogie Cousins, and Dwight Howard, because I truly believe these guys are skill bigs that many teams in the NBA could use right now, considering what's happening with Jokic and Embiid. You need traditional big men. Boogie Cousins is still a bucket. Dwight Howard is still a capable player. But this right here basically fucked up any chances he had of possibly getting back into the NBA. I heard he was balling out in China. First, I didn't even know he was back in America. And the fact that you would be back in America, that you would even get yourself implicated in some shit like this, is a problem. Because it could be one of those situations, let's say give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it's one of those situations where it's a setup and it's a money grab. He fell right into it. He was supposed to come back to the United States and just chill, just fall back. You were balling out in China. Maybe just go around, show up at the Drew League, show up at some of these places where you got the NBA players at, go to Vegas, show yourself, and maybe you get picked up by a roster. But this right here is what the proverbial nail in the coffin for him. So right now I guess I'm just going to have to bang Boogie Cousins to get back into the NBA, because Boogie Cousins is dropping like 30-something points and 15 rebounds, something crazy, Oh, shout out to Isaiah I.T. Thomas, who scored 70 points in a game recently. This dude deserves to be on the NBA roster. Even if he rides the bench, he can most definitely provide some veteran leadership to some of these teams that need, a veteran, somebody that understands the game. And, and one thing that IT understands is the game, and he understands the business of the game of basketball. But yeah, man, it's not that I feel bad for Dwight, but he really fucked up an opportunity right here, man. He really, really, really did, because he could have possibly got back into the league. But this right here is not going to happen, because it's not just his sexuality. It's deeper right now. He's coming off like a sexual predator. It's different if you're in the closet, if you're gay, and then you're doing stuff. That's fine, There's probably tons of gay guys in the NBA. Some would say there's a certain future Hall of Famer recently retired who's been showing such behavior, but that's no here nor there. You know what I mean? But it's just sad that this is how it's going to probably end up for him. But I guess maybe he's okay. Pretty Dwight's fine. Maybe he figures, hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame. The stats are what they are. He's rich. I'm pretty sure Dwight's probably sitting on, 30, 40, $50 million right now after his career, and he just went to China. So he's probably sitting on $50 million easily. So maybe he doesn't give a crap. And this is why he's doing the things he's doing, or putting himself in a position to be accused of the things he's accused of. So, yeah, but, just look into that story. I'm not going to just wing it, I just wanted to touch on it because it's just sad to see the person go out like this, He could have got called, not to say called up, But he could have been called back. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Cam and Mace. It is what it is for real. Anyway, peace everybody.